Hey coaches, Coach Parker with CoachParker.org and BeastOffense.com here. How you guys doing? Hey, the other day, 8U coach asked me how to call plays from the sideline because he was moving up and they couldn't be in the huddle anymore, and was asking how I did it. I know I've put that in kind of my Powering Beast Offense book and talked about it briefly every now and then, but so let's go into it. How to call plays effectively from the sideline in youth football. Let's jump right in. So, some common methods for play calling from the sideline are definitely risk coaches. I've been using those since about 2006. Verbal calls, of course, you can yell across and get those in. Hand signals, started that about 10 years ago with offense. Was using it quite a bit on defense. Definitely audible, funny names and that kind of stuff. We've installed that definitely for older teams. A lot of groups will use, I've noticed, as older teams and even some younger teams are starting to use poster boards or red, green paper kind of things. And then definitely you can huddle up at the numbers with your quarterback or running backs or the whole team. I know I do that a lot. I get kind of outside the numbers and get a little slap on the wrist. But those are some common methods that everybody's using to call plays, especially offense from the sidelines. Now, what do? I definitely use risk coaches, have been for a long time. Usually I use that quarterback, maybe my second string quarterback, and my main running back will have a risk coach. I've tried a couple of times to get everybody a risk coach, and that gets really confusing, at least for me. And then I've got to update all those, like 12 of those. And I'm rather just kind of focus on maybe 3 at most. In the risk coach system, I usually have a 2-player runner system. A guy will come over, I'll tell him the play name or the play number, or the name. He'll take it in, tell the quarterback, they'll call the play in the huddle, and then we go from there. Or I'll just yell in a verbal call like, hey, run 101, and they'll call it in the huddle. For older teams, I have been doing some play diagrams versus numbers, and I'll show you that in a minute. Especially for pass plays, that seems to work out. A lot of guys have been using that in flag, so that's come across pretty well. But I've been using mainly a number and then the actual full play call in my risk coach, and I am starting to where I'll have another risk coach maybe for the 6 or 7 receivers I have, and they'll have a pass play diagram risk coach. Definitely do verbal calls. I like to do funny play nicknames and numbers for all these. So some of the funny play nicknames I'll use: Tank, Popeye, Pico, Unicorn, Toad, Los Angeles, etc. I'll yell in a wrist coach number or no huddle kind of play number in 1 through 29. It's supposed to be 1 through 20 there. And then I usually have audible numbers for most of my core plays, either 1 through 10 or 1 through 20, if the team can do that. So I've got verbal calls too that I'll use. I'll definitely use this sideline huddle for older teams. I've been using this a lot where the quarterback and maybe the running backs will come over to me. We'll talk about a play, what they see, and then they'll go back out. We'll either signal a blocking call to the O-line at that time, or the running backs will go in there and do a quick skinny huddle and hit the sideline and go. I've been definitely using a lot of hand signals. I use those for defense since I started coaching in 94, but offensively, probably the last 10 years, I've been doing hand signals a lot more. And I'll show you some of those, and definitely so that'll go like formation, play nickname, hand signal kind of thing. So that's what I do. And just real quick, when I'm in the huddle teaching, when we start huddling up as a team, I'll call the full play off the risk coach. I'll do a hand signal and I'll do a nickname. So at the same time, we're learning those 3 things. So that's what's going on there. Now here's what my play call sheet for the risk coaches looks like. Definitely a problem that you'll run into is your risk coaches will not match your play call sheet sometimes because you've switched it up or whatever. I highly recommend to do my game sim drill before games, so you call in plays and you know that everything's matching up. Otherwise, I've had where my risk coaches don't match that week's actually play call sheet, and that is a nightmare. And so that's that. So I would say my number one use that I call plays, I'm using these risk coaches, and here they are. I've used the long, skinny ones that I've gone to. The second one here is a Newman, which I really loved, and they're smaller. And then here's what they look like with play diagrams over here. So I've been doing this since about 2006. 2 or 3 player runner systems. I've used receivers. I've had a lot of guards at one time. I've used guards, and they loved it. Linemen like calling the play. They run it in, tell the quarterback. He calls it in the huddle. Everybody breaks. So the risk coaches usually have the number and a full play name. And then like you can see over here, about 2020 or so, and I did it the last 2 seasons, is I'll have pass plays diagrams on another risk coach. So the quarterback and the main running back will have this play call with the full play name and the number, and then the receivers and backs will have this diagram thing for pass plays. But that's how I have been doing it. I have had 2 huddles before where the linemen have a call risk coach, the main captain, O-line guy, but that gets more complicated, and let's move on. So I do like to use a lot of audible, funny play names that will nickname. They're shortened up from my long play calls. Everybody says, you got all these long play calls. Yeah, I do. I tell everybody what to do. But I am using for core plays these funny play names, and so I can yell these out as audibles, or I can just call these in or signal these in. So they're like Turbo, Honey Badger, Samurai, Corkscrew, Pink Unicorn, Bubblegum, Porsche, Shrek, Hulk, Superman, Snot Boogers, etc. Have your kids help you make up the funny play name for that play. They'll remember it. But for whatever reason, crazy play names, they seem to remember. And like I said, we also use those as an audible too. So I've got verbal calls. I'll yell into the huddle the actual play name if I'm in a hurry. The play nickname like Red Tank, Beast Tank Red, or whatever. I'll yell in the risk coach number, or I'll tell the closest player to me or the quarterback. I'll yell him number, and they'll go huddle up and make that call. Or if I'm in a hurry, I'll go run this at the line if I've called the full play, and we just get going. And no, I don't care a lot of times if the other guy hears my play name, because they've got to execute when I'm doing it. But I try not to do it all the time, but that's some way to do it. I do love using these play hand signals. The players really love it. So this is a Beast Rat Tank play call above. And yes, all my competitors will see probably what this looks like. So formations, a pug nose, right or left are the turn hand signals that you learn when you drive a car. So that's right. And then the play hand signal, the tank is a fist in the palm. And if I'm just trying to use one play call and I'm in a hurry, I may use this third play hand call and say left or something, or lightning or riverside or something like that real quick. So that's what's going on there. Use those a lot. Kids love it. A lot of folks, and I've seen a lot of guys start to use like red, green, yellow, green, or just play number in a signal, like in the second, or like these poster boards to go hurry up kind of stuff. For my main plays, especially olders, they'll know that, like, we'll do like a power hour where I'll just call play 1, play 2, play 3. They don't match the risk coaches. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4 till 20. That is our core no huddle, hurry up NASCAR offense. Or I'll have 2 or 3 funny nicknames for each play, or I'll just call in, of course, the hand signals. But a lot of guys are using these poster boards and paper kind of signal in plays there. I do, like I said, players at numbers a lot. Here's an old quarterback that I had, and we're talking about a play there. But usually quarterback at a number, closest player a number, or a running back at the number. And I'll tell them real quick to take it into the huddle kind of thing. And that's how we do that. Here's some poster boards that I've kind of seen. I didn't want to use people's pictures, so I've made these up. So these are, you've seen them in college and whatever, and there's a whole combination you can make up there. I've never done that because I don't want to keep track of the paper and the boards. I'm already dealing with risk coaches. nicknames and hand signals. So the poster board stuff for me, I'm not going to use. But if you like it, use it. And all of this stuff, just because I don't use it or I use it and you feel comfortable doing something else, please do that. Whatever works for you and your team, you should definitely be doing. Here's a video. I just got asked because I post some of the risk coach pictures on my private Facebook forum and Instagram and TikTok. People were asking, how do you make this risk coach? Well, I use Excel for the play call and name and numbers, and I use PowerPoint to make the diagrams. There are some programs out there that'll do it for you. I like to do it myself because I can customize it. You can see the URL or just search on YouTube for this particular video. But I like to be able to customize what I do. It's mine. I don't have to worry about that system going away. I've been using it for a decade, so I'm not going to have somebody else kind of put in my stuff and do that. So that's what I do. I'm not going to run this video here, but you should search it on YouTube if you're looking for that. Or it's also, there's some stuff in my private Facebook group. If you have my Power Wing Beast Offense playbook, version 1 or 2, there's a whole system in there that talks about a nickname audible system. It's kind of complicated here, but I don't want to go completely on it. Here, funny special play names. You can see I've written about all this stuff since 2017 about how to do all this, but this is the first video. Here's the other books that I've written. If you want to take a look at some of the playbooks, like I said, I'm with Coach Parker, coachparker.org and beastoffense.com. These were some of the common play calling methods in youth football. Hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I hope you can call plays effectively from the sideline using some of this. If I've left something out that you use or you don't understand something or anything like that, please leave me a comment below. I'm always here to help. Just let me know, and I'm here to help you understand this subject a little more. Again, this is Coach Parker with coachparker.org, beastoffense.com. And remember to play for fun. And what? Winning is funner. We'll see you guys next time. Ciao.